If your Instagram reels are getting stuck between 200 and 400 views no matter what you post, you are not shadow banned, but you are in what I call an Instagram jail. And in this video, I'm going to show you the exact 5-step system that I use for my pages and start hitting hundreds of thousands of views or even millions of views. This is the same system I use with multiple clients, and it works even if you're a complete beginner with 0 followers. Now, this is not gonna be like one of those videos filled with fluff and filler words, so make sure to put this in full screen, grab a notepad and definitely take notes, because I'm going to give you the exact blueprint that's gonna change your entire Instagram game. So before we jump into the video, I'm going to give you a quick summary basically of this video, and this will be the topics basically that we're gonna cover up. So who am I and what I do, why you're stuck at 200 views. So we're gonna talk about this Instagram test that happens basically when you post a piece of content, and the 5 main reasons you fail that test, and at the end the 5-step solution to break out basically from this whole situation. So yeah, in case you wonder, who am I? I'm Arsh, 21 years old, born and raised in Italy, and I've been building and scaling Instagram theme pages and helping small theme page owners for the last 1.5 years, and as you can see on the screen, I'm the owner of these pages right here. This one, I've opened it in August 2024, and just a month ago I started another page in a new niche, just to prove that once you successfully grow a theme page, you can repeat the process in another niche. Basically, the process is basically the same, we can say. And yeah, I've taken pages stuck at a few hundred views to hitting consistently hundreds and thousands of views or even millions of views, and I know what causes it and how to fix it, so let me show you. Alright, so now let's talk about why you're actually stuck at 200 views in the first place. So here's what's happening behind the scenes. So whenever you post a piece of content, Instagram doesn't immediately blast it to thousands of people, so what it does first, it shows to a small test audience around 200 to 500 people, this could be your followers, people who engage with this type of content, or simply people in your niche, and they're measuring metrics like engagement rate. So are these people liking, sharing, commenting, saving? Completion rate. So are these people watching the whole reel and then scrolling, or are they watching it multiple times? And watch time, so are these people watching all the way through your content or scrolling away in the first couple of seconds? So Instagram is basically testing your content, and if your reel, let's say, passes this initial test, Instagram pushes that piece of content to a bigger audience, and the cycle basically repeats, we can say, and that's when you hit thousands of views, we can say. But if that reel fails with those 200 to 500 people initially, your reel just dies right there, and that's when you're stuck at 200 views. And the problem is most theme pages owner keep failing this initial test over and over again, and when you fail consistently, Instagram puts you in a pattern where every piece of content gets a limited reach, and you're in a what I call Instagram jail basically. And by the way, if you want a personalized coaching on fixing your strategy, growing your Instagram page and actually monetizing it, just check the first link in the description, and that's it. Back to the video. So let me break you down the exact reasons why your reels are not passing that initial test. And the reason number 1 is your hook isn't strong enough. So one thing a lot of people miss out or don't think much about it is the hook of the video, which is the very first 2 to 3 seconds of it. And if you have a strong hook, your increases the chances to retain the viewer to the video. And when you retain them, you're increasing your watch time, which means your algorithm will push more of your content out there. Basically, it's that simple. But the problem is I see so many theme page owner that completely miss out on this. And if people scroll past in the very first second, your watch time tanks and Instagram basically kills your reach immediately. The reason number two is low quality content and poor branding. So if your reels are messy, inconsistent with a low resolution, people are just gonna scroll away, you know. And I'm not just talking about video quality, but overall your branding, we can say, So you should have proper editing, clean visuals, uh, good styling, in terms of the fonts you're using for the subtitles, the colors, and overall your branding, we can say, because when someone lands on your profile, they should immediately understand what your page is about and feel like they're looking at a legitimate brand and not just a random theme page. And here I have two examples of bad branding, we can say, As you can see, the logo is like not too bad, but there are too many elements, we can say, and you get a bit confused, we can say. The bio is not the best as it can be, and as you can see, the reel covers are pretty bad, we can say. There's no consistency in terms of branding, and you overall get idea. Here, instead, we have solid branding, as you can see, a clean, bold, simple black and white logo, a simple bio that pretty much explains everything about their page. And as you can see, very clean reel covers, so still matches the branding colors, we can say. The reason number three is your content has no proof of concept. This is especially important for beginners because you can't post whatever you think will work or whatever you like, we can say. You need to study what's already working out there, So go and check the highest performing pages in your niche and check their recent and viral content and ask yourself, what format are they using? What topics are they covering? What are the hooks being used? And which one is getting the most engagement? Because this is proof of concept, we can say. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but at the same time, you're not copying and pasting because you're taking inspiration and then recreating that piece of content in your own style, your own branding, giving your unique value, giving your unique touch, we can say, but I see so many beginners skipping this part and then they start to post random content or whatever they like. They get stuck at 200 views, but that's not how it works. You need to reverse engineer what's already working out there. The reason number four is you keep switching content style or niches. So if you're constantly changing what you post, one day is motivation, the next day is business tips, next is fitness content, then random memes, Instagram doesn't really know who to show your content to. And it's not just about switching topics, even if you stay in the same niche, but you keep switching content styles. One day is quote reels, the other day is subtitles reels. Your audience just get confused, we can say. Because the thing is, Instagram shows your content to a test audience based on usually what you post. And if your content is all over the place, your test audience is gonna be all over the place too. And there's a quote that says that if you try to serve everyone, you will end up serving no one. So I would say that pick a niche, pick a content creation style, and stick to it for a long period of time to see some results. The reason number five is the lack of consistency. You cannot post once every 5 days and expect to break the Instagram jail. It doesn't work like that. The algorithm always rewards consistency, because when you show up daily and let's say you post the same number of reels or posts, Instagram sees you as an active creator and gives you more reach, But consistency is also about the timing post, so make sure to post around the same time every day and not something like one day is 2 p.m., the other day is 6 p.m., and the next one is 10 a.m. Avoid doing that. And the more you post, also, the more data you have to analyze because Obviously, you will learn faster what works at what doesn't. You can't optimize posting once every week, we can say. Also, I see so many theme page owners, start their page, post their first 10 reels, and when they see that they have low views, they lose the motivation and they don't post anymore. But it doesn't really work like that, because you gotta show up daily for at least for a few weeks before you start to see real momentum. Let's get into the real solutions, So I'll show you the exact steps you need to do to break out this 200 view trap, basically. So step number one is craft hooks that force people to stop scrolling, So a quick tip I would give you is to start the clip mid-action or mid-dialogue, and it means that you're almost throwing the viewer into the scene and into what's happening, basically. And psychologically, they feel uncomfortable scrolling up, so you have a higher chance that they're gonna watch the whole video. And just to show you an example, I'm gonna show you an example of this reel right here, and we'll specifically analyze the hook of it. So let's go. So see like how you're thrown in this mid dialogue, and also see how great is the hook text, with the colored text, which increases the chance of keep your eyeballs stick to the video. And see also how many times the frame changes at the beginning of the clip, and these are the elements that keep people watching. So every niche has a different way to keep attached the viewer at the beginning of the piece of content, but the principle is always the same, make them feel like they've already invested their attention. So it's like they feel they need to watch the whole video before scrolling up, basically. Step number two is upgrade your content quality and build a unique brand. So whenever it comes to creating content for your page, avoid low quality clips with some laggy footage, because I see so many people using the 360 quality clips, which is not great as it should be. And another quick tip I would give you is to use a clean font for the subtitles, with a good contrast with the background, and they should also match the real style, we can say. So for example, avoid using some white color subtitles with a white background, because obviously it becomes difficult to read the text in the video. And in terms of building a unique, solid brand, include elements in your clips, such as your logo or watermark, but also your branding colors. So for example, let's say your branding colors are black, green, and white. What you can do is, I'm just throwing an example. You can color some words in the hook text in a green color, we can say. So in that way, you are not doing too much, and you're keeping things professional, we can say. A last quick tip I would give you is to use a clean background music. So let's say you have a voice or a speaker in the clip, so make sure the background music is not too loud, which just covers the voice, we can say, but also it shouldn't be too low when you can't even hear the music. So you should find the right balance. Step number 3 is reverse engineer proven content from top performers. And for this step, we're gonna use this website called socialblade.com. And basically it's a website where you can put the usernames of these highest performing pages in your niche, and it gives you a bunch of metrics like how many followers they're gaining daily, the engagement rate, how many times they're posting daily, etc. And you should use it to remove dead pages, which are the ones that are losing followers every day. Then you should make a list of the fastest 10 to 15 pages in your niche, and you should look up to their last 20 reels that they posted. See which one performed the best, and ask yourself some questions such as which background music was used there, what was the hook, And if there's a speaker, what's his name? What are the comments saying? Why people engaged with that type of content? And you should take notes of this because you will notice some patterns among all these pages, and that's what you should be looking for basically. Do this research once a couple of weeks because trends keeps changing and you must stay updated in order to break out this Instagram jail. Step number 4 is lock in your niche and content creation style for 2 to 3 weeks, because this process of sticking to a niche and content creation style for these weeks is what separates you from people who get lucky once and wonder why even they got viral, from those who go viral consistently and get results predictably. Because after this period of time of a few weeks, you have a bunch of data you can analyze. Specifically, you can analyze your highest performing content and understand on a deeper level why it worked. And once you know the reasons of that, you can use those insights to double down and do more of what's been proven of working, basically. Step number 5 is build a posting system that guarantees consistency. So I see so many theme page owners, especially the beginner ones, that post for a couple of weeks, don't see any great results, and just start posting less and less, and they just keep relying on motivation. So don't do that. Instead, build a realistic posting schedule. And what I mean for that is, first, decide a number of reels you can post daily and stick to it. So for example, if during the week you don't have much time because of the 9 to 5 or other reasons, you can block a few hours during the weekend where you create a bunch of content, edit it all at once, and schedule it for the coming week. In that way, you no more rely on motivation and you build basically this system that keeps you, that allows you showing up daily no matter what. Now, when you apply all these steps correctly, what happens is over time, all these little details starts to compound, your content starts to perform better, and you start also to get a lot of reach on your Instagram page. And once you break that Instagram jail, everything changes because the journey becomes much more smoother. So here's exactly how you break out of the 200 view trap and start to get real reach on your Instagram theme page. And now you have two options. You can take everything I showed you in this video and try to figure it out by yourself, or you can click the first link in the description and let me help you personally. I work one-on-one with theme page owners to fix their strategy, optimize their content, and get them results predictably. So if you're serious about growing your theme page and making money from it, click the first link in the description. And if this video helped, make sure to subscribe to the channel because more value is coming. And drop your average view rate in the comment and I'll try to give you some feedback, and I'll see you in the next one.